If you were impressed by the Gym Stars Challenge straddle lever to handstands, I've got some tips for you to practice in the gym. This is a really great example of a very complex skill that's used a lot in men and women's artistic gymnastics and acrobatic gymnastics. So to start on this very complex skill, what you need to do is strengthen the hip flexors and all the muscles around the legs. These girls often start with their leg taps on their right leg, and you can see their hands are nice and low, working all the muscles up near the top of the hip. They can also do this into a hold, where they hold their legs nice and high, again replicating the straddle lever position. This is done both sides, and then they also do it with their hands in the middle. They can do the taps and the hold. Once you've mastered the leg taps, you then can move on to the straddle lever hold. From here, the hands go into the middle. You can lift your feet up for a bit of counterbalance before pushing down and lifting the bottom off the floor. So the next step is to then progress up into the handstand. It's really important that you do this in a gymnastics facility with a coach. But don't worry, I'll be back with some more tips on how to master your handstand. Cartwheels can be super spectacular, and I'm going to show you some top tips on how to make your cartwheel super neat and super special. So we're going to start at the beginning, and the beginning stages of a cartwheel is being able to transfer weight on your hands across a line. So you can see here, Daisy's jumping her feet from side to side whilst moving her hands forwards. We call this a bunny hop. And with more confidence, they can then jump a little bit higher and jump their feet up, as Lillian's showing us. So once you've mastered the bunny hops, we're then going to go on and introduce a slightly higher block, or you can even use a small beam. And here you can see that we're starting to incorporate the straddle position that we need in the cartwheel. So Daisy's going to show us. She points her foot out, her hands go down onto the block, and she goes round the side, and that's the beginning of a cartwheel. That's it. Over you go. Very good. And Lillian? Yep. And they're very good first attempts. It may not look like that on your first attempt, but with practice, you'll definitely get there. Now you're confident going over a raised platform, it's going to be about taking the platform away and trying on your own. So let's see Daisy. She's got a lovely stretch to begin with, nice fingers too, nice straight legs, and a nice stretch at the end. Very nice. Having a cartwheel that goes in a straight line is also the best way to do it. So when you've got really good at your cartwheels, you can then move on to different variations of cartwheels. Now don't forget, these girls have learnt them in a safe gym, so I wouldn't recommend trying them at home. Sophie's here with a round off. Lillian with a one-handed cartwheel. And Daisy with a no-handed cartwheel. So it's not easy for everybody, but just keep taking those little steps and it'll become easy one day. One of the first things you learn in gymnastics is a forward roll. Now it might seem easy, but to get the perfect technique takes a lot of hard work. So I'm going to show you some top tips to make your forward roll Olympic standard. So when starting with forward rolls, it's good to start with the basics. So we're going to show you some other roll alternatives which you can begin before the forward roll. Come on then girls. So Mia's going to show us the log roll. Hands up nice and long, very nice. And then Freya's going to show us the egg roll. These can be done either down a ramp or they can be done on the floor. So once you've mastered those, we can now move on to our forward rolls. So Mia's going to start on the top of here. She's going to put her legs out nice and wide in a star position, hands down on the floor. And now the first top tip, your chin must always be on your chest. Her chin is on her chest. She then bends her arms and rolls. Now, once they've mastered that, we can go and pop our legs together this time. So bend down, chin on your chest. Very nice. Then once you've got really good at that, there's no need for the ramp and we can go on the floor. Very nice, Mia. So when you get really good, you can look at doing different forward roll variations. So let's start with the forward roll through straight legs, Martika. And kick straight and bend and stretch. Very nice. Freya, through to pike stand. Nice stretch, Freya. Arms round, keep those legs straight. Push. Very nice, I like that one. That was a good one. And then a big stretch through a star. Push, legs open and star. Good girl, Mia. Go. Very nice. So there's some different variations that you can try, whether at home or in your gym, to make your forward rolls brilliant. So splits are a really important part of all gymnast repertoire, no matter the discipline. Boys, they'll be using it a lot on their pommel horse and their flares, and girls, they use it on the beam in all their split jumps, change legs, and all their split elements. So the box splits are a different way to stretch your splits. They use different muscle groups and they focus more on the hips, the hamstrings and the groin. Here we've got a demonstration of the stretches that we'll be looking for to open up the hips. Ruby starts on one side, opening up her groin and her hip area, and then she goes over to the other side, doing the other side stretches, and then from there she can go up into a straddle position, and again slowly work to your maximum. She can slide down until she feels her furthest point. So these girls are demonstrating where you can get in the end with lots of practice and hard work. They can be this amazing.
Good luck.